Okay.
Mm. Hi. Hello,
Hello.
everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I just realized that I always say three times. Welcome to this moment, this event. I don't know exactly when you are watching this, but I like to do things in a weird way. I like to say I'm a weird animal. And I met someone a little bit ago, and it's like feeling then you are at home. It's like the feeling of family. And that is you, Annette. So to whom we are laughing. We are laughing because I lived in Holland for a lot of years. A lot? Yeah, 5 years. I lived in Holland for 5 years, and we are laughing because a very Dutch woman will be looking like exactly like we are. Like, even though I have a little bit of makeup today, and only for you.
I
And
put my lipstick on.
oh yeah, and um and I just want to incorporate that. Do you are Dutch? Um, you live in the middle of the sea. That is another story. And your life and your story and mine have a lot of similar things. So I think we did. I don't know. It's just I fell in love for you in the first
Mm.
seconds, and for me to bring your magic to the table to these people, it's a pleasure. It's such a pleasure. Then, so everyone watching this, it looks that I have all my shit under control, but I am moving today from one continent to another one. And um, do you know what was beautiful was your message because you know that I'm crazy and I'm working in the middle of the night. And are you sure you want to do this? Now, I just want to bring this like this because I want everyone to understand how raw, how honest, how messy is my bed behind me, how life doesn't need to be perfect. And how can we embrace all parts of life with love, no judgment. And really, for me, it's a pleasure to be next to you because I know your gifts and your abilities. And I want that to arrive to the digital world. And you, who are you? It's like that is the issue of knowing so as a person so well. Is like I go around in the interviews, but tell them who you are.
Well, I'm very, very grateful to be with you and in this beautiful platform. I feel a little bit anxious because this
Me
is the
too.
first time I'm like,
But
podcast.
that is the cool
And
thing
I
is to
do
say
like
that
to
we are
talk a lot,
nervous.
but this is like in front of a screen. I'm like always like a very face to face, body to body person. But and also
I,
talking in English is a little bit like
oh
but
my God.
nothing
If
is
there
perfect.
if there is a country, if there is two countries in Europe, sorry, other countries, if there is two countries in Europe, not counting with the British ones, oh, they are out as well. If there is a country, two countries in Europe, and now let's talk about that, who speak English, I will tell Holland is the first one, and Portugal. And that is there is an explanation for that. Maybe Belgium as well, but there is an explanation for that. We watch TV without
Yeah,
doubling.
yeah.
Like in Spain, France, Italy, like all the American actors speak Italian or
Yeah.
Spanish. And for me, it was very frustrating when I was in Holland because for some time I did the effort to speak, but with my Portuguese tongue, I was trying to say words and it never sounded the same. And everyone speak English, so they say no, 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 English is okay. So don't worry. And
Okay.
it's anyway. Are you
Well,
serious? If you don't,
yeah. So
for
who
every
am I?
person, wait. For every
Okay.
person, because I used to not speak English as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for every person, and for you,
Yeah.
because they told me that I will never was able to do my market to sell in English unless to conquer the American market. So watch me. Now, if there is a person, and I know there is so many people who believe they have a very strong accent, they say silly things, I still say things wrong. And you believe then that is going to limit, do it be a limitation for you, drop that, sorry, I'm going to swear, drop that shit now. Because if
Okay.
you have gifts, it's not for you. If you have gifts and abilities and you are holding yourself back because you don't speak perfect English, they don't speak perfect your language. And you, it's your obligation, not you, love, I'm talking to the camera, it's your obligation to go and speak. And if you don't know how to say a word, embrace it. Embrace it. It's like social media. We don't need to like it. We just use it to arrive to them. We have a mission. We go through the labor pains. Now,
Yeah. Talking about labor.
I know I did the bridge.
I have been a maternity nurse for over 25 years in Holland. And now, where I live on the Caribbean, in Bonaire, which is also a part of Holland, I
Mm.
feel very grateful to be here. I continued, but there is also a new mission. Ta -ta -ta -ta. Because Bonaire is a small, tiny island, and I want to reach so many women. Because let's go back where we all come from.
Yeah. Oh, and then let's remember, if you are watching this on the Business Revolution or the Abundance Summit, there is no, you need to go to the beginning, and there is where we start. And
Yeah.
I'm going to cry a lot on this call. So bring on.
First, when I do this, I have to share my story, I feel.
Yeah.
So, Annette is 60 years young, and I'm a mother of two beautiful half Italian children.
Mm,
And I grew up in Holland, but I always wanted to travel a lot. So I did since I was 17 years old. I traveled, I went everywhere. I ended up in Italy. I got married and I moved back to Holland because the school system in Holland is so nice and much better. So was the reason why I
yeah, yeah.
went back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't want my children to go to the school with the nuns, and now I want to have, because I'm a free spirit, and in Holland we have a very nice school system. So I really was, yeah, I wanted to share this also with my children. So coming back to Holland, okay, what am I going to do with my life now? I have a friend since I'm 5 years old, and she was a maternity nurse. And I was always so involved with her, with all the stories of all the people. So I decided at um, 32 years old to
Mm,
become a maternity nurse.
mm. Oh,
And so I did.
what year is that? So it's like,
That was in 90. Massimo is 93, 80, yeah, 93. He was 5, so 2093,
de training.
98, 89, 98,
Oh
89,
my God.
right,
Oh my
98,
God.
98.
I had my son, my first son at 1st August 2000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In Holland.
No, I
Oh,
wish.
okay. Yeah.
I wish that.
So, because what is so nice in Holland, I will tell that later. So I became a maternity nurse for in Amsterdam. So, as you maybe know, Amsterdam is a very multicultural city from people from all over the world with their rituals, with their culture. I love that because being part of this
Global
most
conscience.
important thing, achieving a child, giving labor, to be part of this, I felt so humbled. So doing that, so in Holland we have this system. When you give birth at home or in the hospital, for 8 days you have the nurse, ta ta ta, 8 days in the building, and she's helping you out with every tear, with every stitch what
With the
hurt,
little,
with
will
every
the
insecurity, with breastfeeding, cooking for you, when the people are coming over, you bring them coffee and you send them away because it's overwhelming. All these people who wants to come to see the baby, and you are there so overwhelming, like, oh my God, what happened? So this was so, so nice. I did this for 28 years. In between, when this happened, my mother got ill in her menopause. Hormones are very, very intense and they can really drop you down. So this happened also with my mother. And at the end, after 10 years, she committed suicide. And that was very sad. She was a beautiful, beautiful soul. And yeah, the hormones, the drugs they gave her drove her away, so she couldn't do different than taking this path. And I feel very sorry for her that she had to do this all by herself and feeling so lonely. And yeah,
Ah,
so after this, what happened, I went into therapy.
mm,
And in this therapy period, I thought I got my own menopause, which is true, but I also became pregnant. Surprise! 39 years young.
okay.
I was like, holy moly. So I had a lot of trauma. I was preparing to get finally divorced, and I was pregnant. And I was, oh, but embracing it all, I gave birth
But
at home to my beautiful daughter Jada, who
mhm,
is 9.5 years younger than
the
her
Max,
brother
the
Timo.
Max.
And this is, yeah, she needed to come. She was waiting for me. So when she was 1.5 years young, I got finally divorced from a very, very intense marriage with a narcissist. And I totally lost myself in this marriage. But going through into therapy, I came back and I started all over again with nothing. But I had my two children. He took away everything we owned, but it's only material, so keep it, be happy with it. But I had my two children.
I know.
So being like a single mom, I decided to be a massage therapist because when you work as a maternity nurse, you work day and night,
You never
um,
know. You are
Christmas,
always
Easter, you never know when the baby is coming. So I needed to have a more stable life. So I became an Ayurvedic massage therapist and a colon therapist.
oh,
During
I did
yeah,
not know that. Oh.
you missed that. I did so many things. Sometimes I'm like, oh my God, what I all did.
Mm.
And during this process, I started to feel spirits from people like a grandfather or a husband who passed away. They came to me to give messages, and I felt overwhelmed because I was like, oh my God, is this true? is this what is happening?
Like a good Dutch woman. It's like mm,
And it was, yeah, it was overwhelming. Then in 2008, when my children went for the first time to see their father, I came to Bonaire.
mm,
I came to Bonaire because a friend of mine knew somebody here. I was like, Let's ask him if I can go somewhere to massage." I didn't have any money. I didn't, but I needed to go out of Holland. So this
I
happened.
I understand.
6 weeks, I was on my bike every day from town to the beach. 6 weeks, massaging all the people. And yeah, being in nature, I believe, is the best healer.
Healer.
And I started to have even more abilities of feeling the energy and getting insights of whatever. So
Mm.
I felt very blessed, and I came home also. Yeah, I felt much better. But I wanted to move to Bonaire, and this was not possible because of the schools,
So
the
Switzerland.
situation. My daughter was, the time of difference. I had to stay and be patient. But every year I came here to come on holiday, see my friends, and waiting divine time when it was time to move here.
Mm.
In 2017, my son Massimo, he finished his school and he wanted to move to Bonaire. I said, "Yeah, you go. I will always like follow your heart, do what you ever feel to do." So he came to Bonaire to live here. On the day that I was going to fly to Bonaire together with Giada, with my daughter, to see Massimo after 6 months, I woke up in the morning with a very strong pain, like a heart attack or something. I don't know what happened. So a few hours later, I took the plane. And when the plane arrived here on Bonaire, the purser said everybody needs to sit because first somebody else needs to go out. So they came over to my chair and they asked my name. I said yes, sir. And they said, "Yeah, you need to come." And I was like, "What's going on?" And there was the police waiting for me. So I was in shock already from what's gonna happen. Walking through this office, I had such a bad feeling, but obviously they couldn't tell me yet anything. I came there and they asked my name and they asked if I am the mother of Massimo. And I said yes. And then they told me that the evening before, at 11 o'clock, the time that I had my heart attack, he passed over. He died in a car, in a scooter accident.
I'm so sorry.
And that took my feet out of the ground. I collapsed, but inside, the same time, I knew it was his time to go back home. I knew it. And he still is such a special soul, and he's here with me, with us, because he's helping me also to show, to heal, to do whatever I am here to do. He gives me the strength to move on, and also my daughter and my mission, because I am on a mission. And I learned through the years in my healing process that the worst thing what overcome to me gave me the biggest insights and the teachments and coming to my heart and knowing why I'm here.
It's
And I develop my skills and I'm doing my practice every day and also coming here. So when the time was to come here in 2022, I was staying in a place and I had lupus
Oh,
all over the place. I didn't tell you this also, not yet, I think.
no.
I was dying. My whole body was full with inflammation. All the small spot, the white spots, I have this in my whole body was full red inflammation. And they wanted me to go to the hospital to take medicines, and but I'm not with the medicines. I'm with Mother Earth, with herbs and everything. Pranic healing. I learned to do pranic healing, self healing, and I came back. I started to give massages. Then I broke my leg. Oh, before moving, I broke my shoulder while I was packing my bags. I fell and I broke my shoulders. I got lupus. I broke my leg, and here I am back on track because so I started my own business here to be a maternity nurse, hypnotherapist, and massaging. But I want to reach more people. And what came because I get a lot of downloads. This is coming where I wanted to come now, where we all come from. Because during all what I did, I found out that the prenatal period, the way we are conceived, the way was the pregnancy, how was your mother feeling, how was the relationship with the father, how was the way you were born? It's all imprints in you. It's giving you the DNA, how you come into this new version of you with a lot of traumas already.
It's
So my wish is to give the knowledge to the women who are still waiting for a child to become pregnant, to heal already their stuff
mm,
so you don't give it for free back to your child and also the partner. And also, if you are already a mother, you can still heal this to
can
rewrite the
we?
script.
Can we?
And it's not only for you, it's also for your child and for for her children.
Because I was exactly thinking about, and I was feeling terrible with, and we've had this conversation before, but I think it's important. Um, in special my last pregnancy, where I did give birth to a Max as well, my Dutch girl.
Yeah,
Um, m- her pregnancy was a nightmare. Not only I was vomiting 26, 27 times a day for 6 weeks, but
yeah,
all the stress, the terrible relationship, the terrible things that I did, and and I feel when we had this conversation before, when we met, do you remember I started crying because I was always so stressed during my pregnancies because I was always in surviving mode. And the last one was a mix of all kinds of drama. I know that on the week, and I'm going to tell this, just on the week then she was born, and she was born premature. On Monday, my best friend tells me then he have HIV. On Tuesday, I swear to God, this is by disorder. On Tuesday, my father was arrested in the United States and nobody did know where he was. He was in jail, but they had no clue. On Wednesday, my son, who was 12, he always did live with me, did came from Thailand where his father was living, and he said, Mom, I'm going to live with my dad. And we have this fight. And because I was mad, obviously, in my selfish way, then I didn't want to keep him. and my water broke, and I'm 33 weeks. And then, if it was not enough, I went to the hospital. They give me steroids, I believe, to mature her lungs. I had a premature before with 36 weeks, and he was terrible for years.
Yeah.
And then the business then we had was canceled. I am on the hospital, so we have no more income. And the car we are driving is taken away. All on the days, and then I die on the table of a operation table because I lost too much blood and they need to. So when, and I'm just giving you 1 week, her pregnancy, and I was feeling like it's very weird because you feel so guilty. I did felt so guilty, and now then you are telling that it's so easy for us moms to always see ourselves as a bad mom.
Hmm.
We and special, and it's very interesting when you told about Italy, because I know what is the difference between a Catholic country and Holland. It's totally different vibe.
Totally. And the
And
south of Italy, even worse.
so so I all my life, and I know majority of people all our lives, like I was a teenager mom. I had no mom. I had kid after kid after kid for selfish because I did not want to be alone anymore. And guess what? Did end
Yeah.
happening. But my question to you, and sorry for being like hijacking your moment, is
No,
is
this is
there?
so important to share your vulnerability because you remember when you said, let's put out the word mama.
Oh
We
yeah,
all carry so much things in.
we did that on the community. So
Yeah,
let me explain a little bit. We are
yeah,
working together in all, then you are going to present. So we are teaming up, me and you. And
yeah,
the way that I always do things is like you have a perspective, I have mine, but then we need to go and watch. And we
yeah,
ask to our community what was the feelings that came with the word mom. And even me, I never did stop a second. And I'm going to tell what comes for me, and then we talk about what other people are telling. Like for me, mom is a beautiful, strong woman. Then I lost, and then a lovely mom than I was, and a mom than I'm not anymore. And that conflict of words, then we constantly, and I remember when I had 6 kids at home, I was listening, mom, my mom. It's like when I was a DJ, I said, like, one day I'm going to remix your audio, because like it's and when we asked on the community, there are people who say safety and mama bear, and where people say conflict and fear. And so coming to you, and sorry for, I did not lost the logic of, is I totally believe then you should help women who are thinking about having kids. But is there hope for women and for kids? As my story, it is possible to heal what I did to her.
Well, I think everything happens in divine time, and getting these downloads and what means for me, it's there. This is the time for us to heal our mother wound, and not even ours, but we have in our womb seven generation womb stuff from our ancestors. Can you imagine?
No.
And what I did, so what I so this so it is time what I feel that the trend it's important we make the transitions for the new world. Because if we heal this in our womb, we also heal the womb of Mother Earth. The womb of Mother Earth is the ocean, is emotions are the water is emotions. And we can only do this together. I did a hypnosis session. I so what you do, you write down the pregnancy, how you work, the whole situation till the end, till you give birth, the real stuff.
The
Then
real stuff.
then you rewrite it in the most perfect way you ever would have imagined. You write it all down. We talk about this, and then when you go into trance, and this can we can do also online
Of course.
perfectly.
That is the
You
reason why
rewrite the
we're here.
script. And what is happening? So I did this. So I tell you really what happened. My daughter calls me, and she's like, now she's a little bit. She's 23, and I was a little
Oh
bit
my
in her. I
God.
go, oh,
Oh my
my weird
God. Oh
mom.
my God. Oh my
And
God.
she's calling me. She said, "Mom, I had such a weird dream. I was born. Your mother was there, and you bought all these nice things with grandma. You were sewing things. It was exactly, totally everything what I wrote down. She had a dream about this.
Oh my God. Do you know
I really believe
if
in
if
miracles. Miracles, I can tell you stories about my son, what he's showing me, believes people believe in miracles because it is all
I believe in
connected.
miracles.
Oh,
I believe in miracles and I believe in you. And
yeah,
let me add you something. If I rewrite my story,
yeah,
I did want to have you next to me.
of course. Yesterday I had a healing session myself because you never are there. Don't stop thinking about
Oh,
it. You are
oh,
gone
that
because
is
then
the
the
little
next thing
detail.
is, hallelujah, here I am. Ready to rumble. And I was doing this because I got very, very ill a couple of weeks ago. So I had to do some healing stuff. I was laying there, and you know what happened? All of a sudden, I saw so many babies I helped to give birth to. Because it's a lot. I think in 25 years I don't know. But I saw all these babies came to greet me, to thank me for being there, to be there in the transition. Nah.
It's impossible. If someone someone is a good person, you know, I am laughing. If someone have the heart on the correct place and is a little bit sensitive, it's impossible to not connect with you and to not know that we need to go through the beginning. And maybe we need to heal ourselves from our birth.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, like I told you, I don't remember if you remember. I'm going to share a very, it's not funny. When I was born, I told you this. When I was born a C-section. I was born on the winter solstice, what is a good, great
yeah.
day to be born. And my mom was waiting for me, and I did not turn. So I was with my butt on the like up
Preached.
ridge. And
No
they,
word.
they, they, they did on a very good hospital in Lisbon where I had a baby. I had a son on the same room that I was born late. Um, they went, so they did a C-section to her, and when he cut her, they cut me. I have a scar, and I always tell this, that is older than me. I have a scar on my butt, on my right side. Then it's a 5 stitches scar. So in a baby of 50 centimeters is a lot. And I was scarred, and that was how I came to the world.
Yeah.
So
This is a trauma. I know that from stories that, for example, a woman is giving birth and her when she is there to push, her husband next to her gets insane, like saying, "Oh, she's dying." You know what happened? His mother died during his labor.
Oh, okay. No, it's a
So really
very,
take it all serious, the way we were born, achieved, how was it in we carried it all. And it's very important, of course, to heal also your labor if there was something going on. I did it myself too.
yeah, it's a it's a it's a very sometimes I forget how many things I did in my life. In bringing
Yeah.
5 humans to this planet.
When you start to talk about it, it's like, oh my God, is this me? Is this I'm like, oh my God, what all happened in my life?
Yeah.
And
Now,
I believe that everything happens for a reason. I believe we have all is the purpose, and this is why we're sitting here with each other. This was for me really such a call, even though I am totally not a social media. I don't even have a
I bet.
computer,
I
but I
know.
need
I
to
know.
step out of my comfort zone for this next
And
chapter. I know it.
because of that, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
And okay. So
So even also to the
there are
women who are
women,
looking at this, if you feel uncomfortable, I'm not sitting next to you. I'm with you. I'm with you.
yeah. And I think and I understand because it's very difficult for a person. I don't like that word. It can be challenge for a person who always holds the hands. And let me tell you, I miss to hold hands and hug people. I have been coaching for 4 years and I never met any person that I coach. I have been holding communities and I want to hug everyone because I'm sick and tired. I'm a hugger, I'm a kisser, I'm that kind of person. That is me.
Yeah.
And it's just like when I met you and we're at the same time we start working and at the same time I was busy with the summit. And even though
And moving.
I'm moving to a different continent, and then that is a totally different, yeah. Which the last 3 months have been interesting because I lost my father in the same way that you lost your mother.
Yeah.
3 months ago. And there is
Yeah.
where we start because
Yeah.
we start our conversation talking about where I should move and never about work. And this is not work. I don't feel this work
No, this is the
intense.
mission. I cannot even say more the word. Oh yeah, tomorrow I
Work
have to
offer
work.
products.
Work?
No,
No.
no, no, no,
No.
no. I want, I want, and this group of women, and we are here, we all went through so much.
Yeah.
And many times, probably, we went through so much because we are scarred on the moment then we are born. I don't know. But what can we do is do something, look into. So when I'm in contact, when I work with a healer or someone with your capacities, many times people get stuck and say, I don't know what is my offer. It's not about your offer. It's about your energy. It's about
Yeah.
the women listen to this. And I told you I was going to cry. Point one, but because I adore you. Point two, because I wish you were next to me. Because my labors were very, very traumatic, except one of them. And it's very hard for to put you in labor when you are not ready and you are 19 years old and you are alone on a hospital and the cold and for contractions with no dilatation for 17 hours and you start pulling out your hair because you don't know what to do anymore and then and then finally they give you a epidural and then they give you, and then the anesthetic, I swear to God, this is true. he said, oh, maybe I need to prepare another one to have, they left you when,
Yeah.
and in this, his phone rings and he's gone. So I was in hell, then I went to heaven, and then I went to hell again because finally I was in dilatation. And I was like, it's just putting one thing inside of the other and here, but I cannot stand up because I was told, you know, and then having a baby and being alone and going out of the on the hospital, and there was not my family, was not his father, was not the family, because everyone did think that I was going to take too long. I was for 24 hours on the hospital, and that feeling of having the most beautiful thing, and that happened, like you go through all that hell and then they come out. And when my son was born, and was born with these big green eyes open, was the most beautiful thing I ever saw in my life. And then obviously I had much beautiful kids after, but that first moment, and then for me was, this is just me and you against the world. And that is not, and then you go back and it's a 19-year-old girl with a baby, oh, with no mom, with no clue what she's doing. Do I'm giving too much? Do I not giving? No, he needs to put. No, he sleep with
I
me. No,
cannot imagine that Holland is the only country in the world where you have a nurse at home. This is insane. That only in Holland is this. I
and
still cannot understand.
it's a it's a very, you know what I want with this, and I know my people, and I know what we are bringing, and I know my the reason why I allowed myself to be so vulnerable and crying, and is point one, because it's healing for me as well, and point two is because I want every person to think that I'm cool and I'm this international DJ, did Playboy and was famous and that.
Yeah,
I went through a lot, and I'm going through a lot. At the same time, I'm living my mission the same way than you. And
yeah,
you said something that I think it's so powerful. The best coaches and healers that I know are the ones who did went through so much, because there we have a capacity to see you and say, I am in the other side. I lost all what was important for me in my life. I lost the most precious thing in my life as well. But I am still doing my mission.
yeah,
And doing my mission is what makes me happy. Yeah, I get paid for that, but it makes me happy. And I want people to know that, yeah, you are allowed to smile again. Whatever did happen to you, whatever did you do that you regret, whatever, well, many times you decide and you did not want to be on this planet anymore. There is people who went through a lot as well in this community, and we are here to hold your hands and to show
yeah.
you that you are allowed to smile, and yes, you are allowed to dance, and yes, you are allowed to live, because only in the moment that you allowed the pain to become a superpower is when you are going to heal.
Self-love. Love yourself. You are perfect the way you are. With everything, what you did, what overcome. See yourself as your baby. Look at yourself, your inner child. Carry yourself as your baby. You nurture her, you carry for her. This is you. And put yourself on
I
top of
was a really
them.
pretty baby. Okay,
Mm,
okay. So what we are going to do is, if people are like curious to know more about, or they're expecting, or they just had kids, or they just know, or now they are listening, it's like, oh, wait a second, I even don't know how was my labor.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a second, I don't know what my mom went through. Oh, wait a second, I remember what I went through in this kid. I, I want them to know that there is hope. And I want them to know that there is no business revolution or abundance activation if you don't go back to beginning
Yeah.
and you start allowing yourself to understand and allow yourself to heal. And there is not another person that I could trust. And I don't trust a lot of, sounds really against my work. I'm very picky with the people that I allowed to work with me because there are many times it's very easy to put a title on the Facebook and tell them you can do something because you did a course or you did 10,000 certifications. It's a very different thing is a person who went through the things, who did give your hands to many hands, and for sure they squeeze your hands and they said terrible things to you many times during labor. And I want any person watching this to reach out to me or to reach out to Annette. I will figure out. We will have like a direct link to the messenger of Annette or a direct link to, or I will arrange that because I'll back her up on that. And and let's have more conversations about that. I think the beginning is someone needs to reach out to you, like starting talking about what they felt with this conversation, what aha moments they had, and oh, what they want. Because not necessarily you need to have a straightforward offer. You
No.
need to talk with someone,
Because
understand.
everybody is all the stories are different. So I'm tuning in you, and we talk, and I feel what even though if you are passing by what comes up for, because I also had a horrible menopause. I healed myself also a lot in this process, because this is also, so there are also many different stages where you are now, getting wanted to be pregnant, the age you are, it doesn't matter. Everybody has his own story. So I tune in to you, and this is how I move on. I don't have like a, because it's impossible. Everything is different.
And that is perfect. And that is exactly how I do my things as well.
Yeah.
Like, what do you need
Because
is
I don't see
different.
you as a robot. No, you are you. So
No.
it's personalized.
And it's that is, I think, and I want to, and now I'm going to do business coaching here. That is the thing that like everyone is buying or bought. The idea coming from United States, normally created by men and normally like 30 years old, crypto style, like want to create structures in things that
Yeah.
not necessarily work like that. I'm going to give you a great example. I have my strategies how to bring people in. When I was talking to you, in any moment in my head, I was thinking that we were going to do any single thing together. I went to talk to you because we had a great conversation.
Yeah.
And so, and we did create something
Yeah.
for us. Then is, and it's just that then I want everyone to know. So if you feel like drawn to Annette, it's how is not possible. Like it's not possible to be. If you feel like, wow, maybe I should talk with her so I can understand a little bit what is not even clear for me. Let's talk. I'll figure out a way. Probably it will come to me and then from me to you because I know I need to filter that for you. Um, and I'll put you talking with this soul then I feel like is my family. And I'm a very, I love to say this. I'm not a bastard because I was born inside in a marriage, but I'm very lucky bastard because I work with amazing people and I can have their magic with me. And you are going to change and help so many people now in a different way. And it's my job and my mission to make your wisdom, your gifts, your abilities to arrive to other people.
Thank you. We only can do it together.
Yeah.
How lonely it can feel, you never are alone.
Do you like the community? Do you like the women that are there? Do you like what
Yeah,
you have?
yeah. You know, the when we talk to each other, everybody is there, vulnerable and sharing, and it's like, yeah, sisterhood. And this is what I like so much, what I want.
Yeah. I did create my home,
Yeah,
even though it's no air. My people are, my wolves are my home. And that is the
yeah.
reason why someone, when it's off, needs to go off.
Because you can feel so lonely and desperate. I know. And I was always lucky that I also had some sisters around me. And of course, I did my healing stuff. But then when you do the, and of course, it's good to be alone also, but to feel carried and nurtured as a woman, because we so much think we have to do it by ourselves. Don't show your fear, don't show your weaknesses,
Don't
because
ask dumb questions.
this is also one thing what I really want to share, because I was working, like for example, I went to work with somebody and then I to work to a friend and to another friend, huh? And they were laying there after labor, totally, you know, torn with stitches and courage breast. And they were crying like, "Oh, I want to go there." And then I was like, what is your mind? Yeah, but I want to see my friends. But I said, well, listen to me. Your friend had even a worse situation, but why don't you share this with each other? Why always the pink cloud that
And
everything
then
is
that
going
is,
so happy?
yeah.
Well, it's not.
Let's talk about that in like, let's have a second. People, I don't know, I think now these new generations are changing, but they, a woman will only, until my generation, like, will only have value if you are a mom, if you are married, if you are a mom. And if you have a kid, now, let's be honest, pregnancy, labor, breastfeeding, bleeding. I told you the story. Coming back without a premature baby is a big trauma. Pumping at
Yeah,
home
I
without a
know.
baby and
Yeah.
pumping and doing feeding a baby 2 in 2 hours. And then this
When are you eating? When are you eating?
they're
Oh, when are you
sleeping.
sleeping?
No, no, and then it happens that funny thing. Like you should sleep when the baby's sleeping, but then when the baby's sleeping, you you
You
are
have to
like,
pump.
oh, it's so beautiful. And then it's like they sell this idea, but they don't really explain
Yeah,
to you will not know who you are anymore
yeah,
because
yeah,
now you are responsible. And let me tell you something, you are always believing that you are doing things wrong.
yeah, always.
Because
I'm not good enough.
where is the blueprint? And then and then what? And then they arrive to 7 and they start saying, don't kiss me in front of my friends. And then they arrive to teenager years and mom, you don't know what you are saying. And then it goes and goes and goes and goes. And like I just believe like women have this full desire of being a mom, and majority of us are not ready. We have no clue what is coming in our direction. No clue. And how
And
hard it
sometimes a
is.
lot, they think their life moves on how it was. Well, I can guarantee you one thing: it will never ever be the same.
No.
Don't even think about it. This to be because it gets you nuts. And so many women are anti-depression because they are too much. Everything needs to be perfect for the
Oh,
world outside. But
the woman, the
please,
kids, the food, the being a lover, being sexy, being fit. Oh, you need to lose your baby weight. All of that. Like I, I am a terrible, not a terrible example. I don't want to call it there. So I make the example what can happen when you don't take care of yourself.
yeah,
It's like I did, and I did the best I could do with what I had and with the support I had and the bad choices that I did. I
yeah,
did the best that I could, but now it's being aware of something then it's so important for me and being away for my choice kind of. It's like in not knowing, yeah, the eating, they went to school, all of that,
yeah,
because there is an attachment. It feels like
yeah,
they are ripping for 3 years, I swear to God. It felt then someone's ripping out my heart out of my chest every single day until I had an accident, and I had an, you know the story. I had an accident, motorbike accident. We have a lot of things in common, and I died. And when I died, I did not have that beautiful experience to see God in the light. No, it was terrible. It was terrible. It was sad. It was, and basic. I did get the message. If you believe in that, if not, but this is. I saw myself. I was in the middle of the jungle, no hospital, and they told me that I will return if I dropped the suffering and I start doing something to help other
yeah,
women to telling their story.
yeah,
And we don't decide what kids we are going to have. We don't know. Like we don't, it's not like something that you pick and you are going to have it. And we don't decide our life story. There is coming, there is a expression, an Arabic expression, and Paulo Coelho have a book with who wrote The Alchemist, have a book named
yeah,
Maktu. I have a
yeah.
tattoo named Maktu. Maktu
I love
means,
it.
Maktu means it's meant to be. And then you can go back and forth, and obviously you have choices, but there are things who are going to cross by you. And I never dreamed with my mom, but when I was in full depression with the decision that I was taking, I dreamed with her, and we are both on the bed. And she was younger than me because she died. I was 14 that time. She died when she was 39, and we are both on the bed. And I never sleep in the afternoon, and I slept at day. And she told me, "Look, it's going to be hard. It's going to be very difficult, but this is what you need to do." I don't know if it was like a defense mechanism of my brain. And I told her, never forget, um, point when I was joking, then I could teach her how to drive because she never drove. And then she said, "I need to go." And I told her, "How can I know this is true? Then you have been hearing me." When I wake up, I look to my phone and I had
Mm.
a message from her sister that I never did spoke in my life.
Wow.
And
Magic.
I was very depressed in that time, and I was destroyed, and I was not able to work, and I had no income, and I had nothing. And I said, "I cannot do this." And she said, it's solved. And I did receive a small amount of money from her side of the family that was for her, but obviously I'm the only person. And that amount of money allowed me to heal a little bit, not a lot because I still